Welcome everyone. You're watching channeled messages. We get messages from the council in general, the original council, Council of Light, Council of Nine, Council of Eight, and many other light beings that want to come down and for that day, that moment, help in providing coordinates. So we arrive at different places in the web, the web of life, in whatever dimension it is, whatever planet it is, whatever timeline it is. There is no straight line, is wherever they wish to take us that day because they feel that that will help us and you, whoever's watching this, remember something about your true self. Remember your abilities. Maybe you remember a past life. Maybe all of a sudden you ignite a gift that has been dormant for a long time or you never even knew you had. This is also to help us ascend, continue raising our vibrations, our frequency, to help us ascend to hopefully 5D, 6D, wherever we need to go, wherever they feel that is our next step. And also help increase the frequency of the earth in general. So again, if we get coordinates, and if you do not know how to travel, let's just say that way, you can just set the intention to go where we're going or to see and go where you need to go. That's also another option. And then you can have your own experience, may be the same, may be different, but it's towards your needs, what you need at that moment, what is best for you for greatest good. I am opening now the floor to the two members that are here. And as you can see, they don't appear. So you, if you feel the call to do this, you do not have to appear at all. You just participate. You will get a different name. You will a nickname. You will not be seen unless you want to be seen. And of course, by all means, you're more than welcome. Anytime that we get gifted mediums or channelers wanting to do this, we welcome them. And it's always for greater good of humanity and all living things and not about ourselves. So welcome everyone. I want everyone to now just close your eyes and take nice deep breaths. And when you do that, you land, you arrive, you're starting to be present and focusing on what you're doing at this moment. Not the laundry, not the work that you need to do, not the present for someone's birthday that's in 2 days. I want you to just focus on yourself and what is occurring at this moment and surrender to the process so you will have the best type of experience. Okay, I believe Jazz has the first set of coordinates, Leave has the second, and I have the third set of coordinates. So please, Jazz.
16, 22, 13, 12, 1. 16, 22, 13, 12, and 1.
Take a nice deep breath. And these coordinates took me immediately, because they were calling me before, to a place where the lack of wording, that's description. The earth, the ground, the dirt is extremely black, very rich, very, very rich. And I have pine trees, very tall pine trees, walking around. So their roots are just coming out of the dirt and taking a step and just walking like if it was you and I walking. Um, the only thing is they don't have two roots. They have many. So they're taking turns and kind of like a spider would or something like that, just continue traveling using all of their legs. So using all of the roots as a way to continue moving. Um, don't ask me why they're moving yet because I have not gotten that response yet, but it is very interesting. Uh, and and then you have for me, I have a row at the very peak of what appears to be like a small little hill, a whole bunch of trees, just some set of roots on this side of the peak, and then some on this side of the peak. But on this side of the peak is a different type of dirt. It's like a red dirt, not as moist, not as much as nutrients. It's red, it kind of looks dry, not like sand, um, but not as rich as this side. But yet the trees are surviving perfectly well, full of uh, foliage. There are no real dead branches, but they're very straight and they're just very tall. They don't really go out much side to side, sort of. Um, they're limited and they just feel like they're going up in a tubular manner until they get to a point on the very top. So they're a little different. Um, it's kind of like a privacy fence, what we would call a privacy fence with the greenery. And it's just, it's interesting. It's interesting. Um, on the other side, for me, there, like I said, there's a lot of red dirt. It's not sand, because at first I saw it was dry, but it's not sand. It's more like a clayish type of dirt. Um, and there is a small little lake, round lake, far far down again on the other valley, basically. Uh, anybody having a same type of experience, different type of experience?
Mine's very different.
Okay.
I I had traveled to Atlantis before we even opened, and once the coordinates were read, I returned there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the initial impression was the mists of the water were rising at dawn, and the sun was beginning to break the horizon. And I'm am on in an open temple at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a basket. The basket has bread in it, and it has the ingredients to make the bread as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm kind of looking out over the water, wondering about humanity. Even at that point in time, humans, with their free will, chose to be self-centered, to be self-fulfilling,
Mm-hmm.
ignoring the needs of their brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Once the coordinates were read, um, I'm inside a tremendous temple,
Mm-hmm.
and the walls are red. Um, I don't know if it's a fabric or whether it's a stone,
Mm-hmm.
but there are excuse me, uh, gold filigree enhancing the red, and incense is burning. Um, it is a temple of great renown, and there we are preparing for a festival.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hear bells, kind of a signal that get your stuff together, kind of warning,
Mm-hmm.
um, because the ceremony or the festival is supposed to start shortly.
Mm-hmm.
There are many uh, acolytes running around doing the things they need to do beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a meditation pool in the center of this space and kind of
Mm-hmm.
sits in a little deeper than ground level. There are steps going down into it. The waters are a deep, deep, uh, it's a deep blue, but it's got hints of teal and some other shades of blue.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a pretty big size pool. It's not a little thing. Um, there are sensors in each of the four corners that surround it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a sense that it's a spring celebration.
Okay.
So some of the things that the acolytes are carrying are spring blossoms from the trees
Mm-hmm.
and flowers. Um, and that's all I'm seeing at the moment.
Okay. That's very interesting. Leaf, different, same.
I'm following along. I'm not getting anything different.
Okay. Okay. Well, when you were talking about humanity and free will, I got that my scene was the um, kind of like visual of free choice. You could either be in the rich soil and become rich spiritually and become rich in humanity, or you could be in the still dirt, but very dry, very low in nutrients. So it's kind of like a visual of how each one of us stands in that crossroad. We're in that middle, and we could choose either side. And one will give you a better life, although, you still go through your things, but better life, more of a true way of managing life here and as we see it now. And the other side is more like self-serving. I'll take golden nutrients because, I'm going to run everything dry for my own self being instead of for the reason of everyone. Um, so it's very interesting how each one of us sees differently, but they're all basically um, tied together.
Yeah. I I had a sense when you spoke
Mm-hmm,
that while I was in the temple areas,
mm-hmm,
you were in associated lands.
mm-hmm,
Um, and one of the things I recall ruminating about looking out over the water was I could feel and sense the diamonds and sapphires that have been placed in me uh, from our home planet.
mm-hmm,
And I could feel the communication going back and forth. Um, I don't know that I had any specific clear messages per se, but they were active and alive in this temple arena because it's connection of different temples. It's not just one.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um, and that sense of longing to be home, uh, because I think all of us tend to want to believe that in home, at home, there's a sense of security, a sense of peace, a sense of all will be well at some point in time.
mm-hmm. Yes.
And so there's a natural longing for that peace, that security, that uh, absence of conflict that builds negative tension.
Mm-hmm,
Conflict in and of itself isn't a bad thing. It's just there is conflict and there is conflict where I'm right, you're wrong type conflict, and they're
right.
different. They're different.
One is let's hear how you see things, and I'll tell you how I see things. And the other one, my side is right, and that's it.
Mhm.
Um, which is brings a definitely a different type of energy. And
Mhm.
one could just lead to a nice discussion, nice exchange of thoughts. The other one could lead to fighting and just chaos. So it's every day choosing. We have a right to choose every single day, every single second. It's trying to bring to your everyone's attention that each choice does bring a consequence, whether it's a very good consequence or a not so good consequence. Each
Mhm.
choice that we make, whether to argue that day or to just let it go, no matter what that person says, you should hear what they're saying. If they're coming at you without taking your side as a different option. And I don't mean that they have to agree with you. I mean that they just need to listen, just like you're listening to them. Then you're not going to change their mind. You know that they're right there in it for I'm right, you're wrong. And it's not, you got to pick your battles. You got to choose your peace, your haven, your security, like you feel when you're at home. Because most of us, when we say home, that's the place when we close our doors, We don't have to worry about anything or anybody else because we are inside our home and we are in our little cave, as they say, protected by the element, from the elements, protected by the from the hate that's out there, protected by our energy and our walls. And that's how it has to feel, even when you're having a discussion or you're having a difference of opinions. And that could, like I said, like you said, confrontation is good sometimes, as long as it's healthy, not turn into chaos. There's a fine line. And that's why the trees are sitting at the very peak with some roots on this side and some roots on that side. It's a very fine line, very thin line. And just for your peace and your haven and your feeling protected, sometimes you just have to let go of things. Uh, that's what I'm getting. This one tree is talking to me. Has a mouth, eyes, ears. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, um,
It's some of the greatest ideas in philosophy and spirituality have come from both sides.
mhm,
And without the ability to listen deeply, to be open,
mhm,
um, those ideas oftentimes die.
mhm,
And they're not necessarily good ideas or bad ideas initially, they're just ideas or
mhm,
thoughts.
mhm,
And through the exchange, through the healthy tension,
mhm,
um, building blocks are developed and set in place.
mhm,
And I have some stuff that's kind of different from everything else. Um, we were talking about the two different kinds of soil, like one was on one side, one was kind of like there's twins,
mhm,
but each one is responding differently. The
mhm,
people on either side respond differently. Well, this is addresses that kind of idea. Our sun has a twin star, it is really a binary. Ours is really a binary solar system.
mhm,
Um, and the other star is Maya, which is the third star of the Pleiades constellation,
mhm,
third star from their central star, or the third star in that system. And the Earth is or the our sun is really the eighth star in the Pleiades solar system, but it's hard to know that from the position of being on Earth.
mhm,
It's hard to see that. But so everything that happens in the sun's solar system also happens in the Maya solar system, but there are very different responses of the people that live there, that live
mhm,
in, and that's why one of the reasons Earth is has so much so interesting to alien peoples. Uh, it's there are things to be learned from being here in this Earth system, and there are things because Maya essentially is that system has this either the same experiences but it's different because they respond differently to it all.
Mhm.
And that's about as much I can explain and have it make some sense.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Okay. I hope everyone is noticing that there are things moving in the temple now. I all of a sudden I got transported there. But like the crystals are moving their positions around, talking to each other, but moving where they were, their placements. Um, I know there's a meaning to that. Right now, I'm not getting it, but I guess it's so they can listen to the other crystal closer and hear what they got to say. I don't know.
They're responding to galactic communication.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Um, I am getting now that Leaf has to do the coordinates she received.
You have 32, 49, 11, lavender, 32, 49, 11, lavender.
Okay, whoever gets there first, just say what you're experiencing.
I'm in a purple mist.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Kind of like foggy.
yeah,
Yeah, at first I thought it was London, but it's I don't think it's there.
the the mist itself is purple in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And yet
right.
we're not afraid, even though we really can't see that well, because it's kind of foggy, but we're not stopping. We're just continuing to walk
Mhm.
and not it's just
Th-
trusting the whole experience.
There's a
So
phoenix.
far,
Go
so
ahead.
far we haven't walked into anything.
Yep.
No, there's a phoenix guiding us.
Hmm.
Um, red phoenix, red and yellow.
Okay. It didn't come in
And
fully focused to me, just but yeah.
it,
Okay.
um, no, we basically what we see is the tail feathers that are kind of dangling in front of us to guide us.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And the ground is kind of spongy. Um, it's solid, but it kind of spongy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spring to it, if you will. And I'm beginning to see some very different vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
it's almost as if we're walking through a wooded area or what on Earth we would call a wooded area. It's not that there are a lot of trees, but the floor is similar in what you would see in a woods, that type of plants and animals.
Moss, kind of sponginess.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's not really green.
You know, I'm seeing pink and blue and green and white,
Hmm.
kind of the different colors of lichen on trees.
Hmm.
It's a rejuvenation station.
Hmm.
Those who have been drained, those who are in need of rebuilding, um,
Mm.
those who have put out, and not felt adequately fed. It is a place to become whole.
Mhm. Oh,
Surrounding, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm good. I found a little hobbit kind of house. I'm going in. Continue your journey.
I was about to say the landscape was not all that important per se. Uh, but maybe you'll find more depth of
I I
healing in the
I
hobbit
I
hole.
I bumped into something and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And I walked in and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Lunch
Oh, ooh, what was that leaf?
for lunch.
Uh,
They
th-
say cheese and fruit or cheese like food or something.
yeah,
It reminds
but
me of cheese and fruit and fish.
mhm. And I see something similar to like crackers, and uh, and then there's like a just like a podium or a column type of thing where there's a book, and when I walked in, the book was closed, and now the book is opening. Flipping through pages, not that I'm doing, it's just doing it itself. Um, and there appears to be something coming out of the book, some code, some frequency, something. And everybody that's in this house is receiving that type of codes, for lack of wording, frequency.
There's
Um,
a musical aesthetic to it.
mm, mhm. Um, this, I don't know if this is where we were supposed to end up, but uh, I, I'm feeling the rejuvenation type of energy floating around, and then it's like we pick whatever, for intense purposes, notes or symbols we instinctively know we need, which are carrying the frequencies to help each and every one of us individually.
There are I'm always in rooms off the center aisle where you can get more intense treatment if you need it.
Gather those notes and things that are coming out of the book and draw it into yourself, just like uh, gathering chi in Shenzhen. That same type of, if you do that same type of movement, it'll
Yes,
bring
kind of like,
that information into the inside of you.
mhm. And when we mean gathering, we just mean like this, gathering and bringing it in. Whether you do it to your heart or you do it to your lower stomach, wherever you're just picking up things that are good for you and you're bringing it into your field and placing it in your heart for it to distribute through your whole body, your whole field. Oof. Now, curious as I am, I walked into one of those rooms. Um, one has like red lighting treatment added to whatever else. And I walked into another and it's like a blue lighting treatment. So each one of them has their own different frequency uh, and different results for different purposes. And then walked further past the book, the other end of a hallway, and there's like a sundial, and then there's a hole right above it where the sun ray or some light is shining down on the sundial. And sundial is very ornate, has a lot of decoration, a lot of intricate little uh, little things like small crystals all around, very strategically placed. Um, Little figures like birds and just all around beautiful in itself, never minding the functionality of it. Um, but yeah, and some of those little crystals are now reflecting um, and shining the walls around with the different colors as the light hits them. Um, hmm, don't know why it was colder, but uh, I guess curiosity because
There is,
Mhm.
go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
There is a moth light being. Moth is the greater structure of this being's identity, if you will,
Mhm.
but very much a light being. And
Mhm.
it is standing near the podium. I don't know that he's at the podium or she. It and it is come to offer blessings,
Mhm.
come to offer peace, tranquility,
Mhm.
and joy.
Mm, yes. Mm.
Kind of like Tinkerbell, only bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's
So this, uh,
it's very cute.
mm,
Very gentle.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And as delightful as this is, I think there's a sense that this is the time for the third code.
Yeah. Third code 3, 11, 24, 7, 1. 3, 11, 24, 7, 1. Okay, so for me, traveling from this place to another place, they do like a backwards rerun on a movie. So instead of going forward, I'm going backwards, going through all the rooms, or just out the door. It's back into the fogginess or whatever. Then where I started, I turn to my right and I go straight that way, which leads me to a completely different environment. I walk through what feels like curtains, and boom, I'm there, and those curtains then become solid to the back, so not to allow you access to go back. Now, this feels it's definitely in what I would say a spaceship environment, but it feels more like a classroom. Um, some of the galactic beings that were there were the ones that were accompanying us or sending us energy. And so now we're here. The Phoenix is also here. The little Mothman is also here. And some of the crystals are are embedded around the room that we're in. For intense purposes, the walls. Um, and
Interesting because I
yeah,
have a very different picture.
so what?
Um,
Go ahead.
I see I see us walking on a road, but it's high up high on a mountain. The road, like maybe two-thirds of the way up the mountain. And
Hmm.
then if you look down, there's a river or a stream. Uh, and we're walking on the road on that's two-thirds of the way up the mountain.
Hmm.
Uh, sunny out, um, sort of blue skies, kind of pale, but that's what I'm seeing. Very different.
Yes, yes.
Although it's
Uh,
when you mentioned the Phoenix, I said, that's why we're on the mountaintop. What
mm,
why I don't know, but
okay. Like I said, each one of us might be in a different place, even with the same coordinates, because that's what we need to see for some reason. Although I like your sunny day, so I may jump ship sort of. Mhm.
Well, it's interesting because I my first image was a house like Old Woman in the Shoe, but the house
Mhm.
was like a transformer. It would reconfigure itself periodically, and it reconfigured itself to where you landed, Glenda, and
Mhm.
then it refigured itself as a house on the hill up the
Mhm.
mountain.
Mhm.
Um, it- it's really interesting, but it definitely had that transformer aspect to it.
Okay.
So I've just been kind of watching it rebuild itself as each of you spoke. And I was like, ooh, okay. Um, but I think the essence is that home is wherever we are.
Exactly.
A lot of times people search and search and search and search for where home is,
Mhm.
and expecting it to be perfect. There is no perfect home. Um, but we can make it as perfect as it can be by how we relate to each other in whatever environment that is.
Mhm.
Um, how we develop those relationships, make it home.
Mhm.
And there is acceptance, there is trust, there is safety, there is all kinds of components, um, and conflict and stress and everything in between.
Mhm.
Um, some people have the security of having one house their whole lifetime.
Mhm.
Others have multiple. Um, and each one has its own unique challenges.
Mhm.
And the grass is never greener on the other side of the road.
Mhm. Mhm. Very true. Mm. Oof.
So seemingly just separate experiences, and yet there's the thread of home through it. There's a
Mhm.
thread of harmony through it. There's a sense of rejuvenation through it.
Mhm. Yep. And basically, the lesson is home is wherever you make it.
Mhm.
And keep it in your heart. And from your heart, it will be a better place no matter where it is. So, with that being said, I'm getting the nudge that we have to come back down, go home. So, I want everyone to take a nice deep breath and start to feel yourself coming down into your body, your own selves. Start to hear the sounds of your own environment. Keep going slowly and allow yourself to fully arrive, being present, taking all the wisdom and your experiences that you just had with you. Each has a meaning. You may not realize the meaning for yourself at this moment, but it will come to you. Take another deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes when you're ready. And I want to say thank you to my team, the people that were here with me today. Thank you to all of the light beings that helped us through our journey, which was an interesting one today. And thank you for to all of you for sharing, for liking, and for subscribing. We'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. As always, have a great week, and we love you. Bye.